There's a buzz in the air. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Rice Center on the campus of Benedictine University. I'm Tim Calderwood. Tonight, Benedictine hosts the second round of the NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. Benedictine at 27-0, receiving a first-round bye, facing Hardin-Simmons University out of Texas. Hardin-Simmons was victorious on Thursday night on the road at Texas Lutheran to reach Benedictine. They have already played a game in this tournament, and it was a victory over Texas Lutheran in the NCAA tournament, as Hardin-Simmons came away with the victory to secure the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, as well as the right to face Benedictine, who is ranked number 2 in the D3Hoops.com Top 25. As I said, I'm Tim Calderwood. What to expect? Well, Hardin-Simmons is a team that likes to run. Not only that, but they have some size in the form of Justin Jones down in the post, along with Nathaniel Jack, a couple of post players who are capable of backing up the Benedictine posts. It's interesting to see tonight with the full house in the student section and the capacity crowd that has been pouring in from about 5:30 on. Who exactly has the advantage here? Hardin-Simmons had to travel Friday morning. They received a 3 a.m. wake-up call to head to the airport and catch a flight up here to Chicagoland. Got in, settled into the hotel around 10 o'clock. But they also had a game under their belt on Thursday. Benedictine is 27-0. They did run through the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Tournament last week. In fact, on Sunday, an 89-57 victory over MSOE to earn the conference's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Benedictine is just the third ever school from the conference to host a tournament game. The others were unsuccessful in their attempts. Aurora University and also Concordia University, Wisconsin. The Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference owns just a single victory all-time in the NCAA tournament. That belongs to Edgewood in 2012. Hardin-Simmons is in the tournament for the very first time. And first-timers, the tournament has been kind to first-timers so far. A couple of big upsets yesterday in the landscape and opening round contests with first-time programs scoring wins. And, of course, Hardin-Simmons, as I mentioned, a first-year program. Well, they scored their first tournament win as well on Thursday at Texas Lutheran. So they've already been in a hostile environment and have won. Granted, that was a lot less than the lengthy drive that followed the contest and the long, long trip. And they will not have as many fans here as there were at Texas Lutheran. I know Hardin-Simmons took a fan bus to Texas Lutheran for the contest, but still should be a very interesting matchup. Both teams like to score. Hardin-Simmons in the tune of 85.4 points per game. Benedictine 87.7. Both teams are very balanced. Hardin-Simmons, 6 players averaging in double figures, a 7th right at 9.9. Benedictine, the entire starting 5 in double figures, the 6th man at 9.9. There are a lot of parallels. This is anything but an easy game for Benedictine, the number 2 team in the D3Hoops.com top 25, entering action in the second round of the NCAA championship tournament. It has been a groundbreaking season for Benedictine, setting a single-season school record for wins. Along the way, setting the longest win streak in school history, and many other records have fallen along the way, including the conference's single-season record for blocks by both an individual and a team. Luke Johnson yesterday was chosen as the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Player of the Year. It's been a long journey for both of these squads. It continues tonight in the NCAA tournament. Let's turn it over to our public address announcer.
At this time, we ask you to please rise. Gentlemen, removing your caps as we honor America and the men and women who fight for our freedoms every day, both at home and abroad. Please welcome the Benedictine University Pep Band under the direction of Alan Lekepke for the playing of our national anthem. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2016 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship at the Band and Ada Rice Center on the campus of Benedictine University in Lisle. This second round matchup features the Cowboys of Hardin-Simmons University in Abilene, Texas, versus the Benedictine University Eagles. The Cowboys compete in the American Southwest Conference, while the Eagles battle in the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference. Now, let's meet the starting lineups. For the Cowboys, at 6'5", a junior from Abilene, Texas, a forward, co-captain number 4, Dwayne Hopper. For the Eagles, at 6'3", a junior from Naperville, Illinois, a forward, number 33, Michael Lazik. From Hardin-Simmons, at 6'3", a junior from Mart, Texas, a forward, number 45, Nathaniel Jack. From Benedictine, at 6'5", a junior from Shorewood, Illinois, a forward, co-captain number 35, Adam Reynolds. Cowboy at 6'8", a junior from Wichita Falls, Texas, the center for the Cowboys, co-captain number 40, Justin Jones. Eagle at 6'9", a senior from Naperville, Illinois, a center for Benedictine, number 32, Luke Johnson. For HSU at 6'3", a senior from Dallas, Texas, guard number 15, Cameron Barnes. For Benue at 6'2", a junior from Country Club Hills, Illinois, guard number 2, Teron Harvey. Finally, for the Hardin-Simmons Cowboys at 6'1", a junior from Lubbock, Texas, guard number 11, Christian O'Neill. And for the Benedictine University Eagles at 6'1", a senior from Gary, Indiana, guard number 3, John Dotson. The head coach for the Cowboys is Craig Karst, who is assisted by Ryan Stubbs and Jeff Holland. The Eagles are coached by Keith Funkenberg, who is assisted by Joe Fano, Matt Jones, and Frank Janzik. Get up, Frank, go! Tell the world you are here. Share your experiences. Connect with other fans and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite teams. For more information, visit ncaa.com/.
It's tournament time in Chicagoland. Once again, everyone, I'm Tim Calderwood. Glad to have you alongside. Not sure how much of our intros you were able to hear, so let me quickly run you through the starting lineups for Hardin-Simmons, the visitors in the black. Dwayne Hopper, Christian O'Neill, Cameron Barnes, Justin Jones, and Nathaniel Jack. For Benedictine, a very familiar starting five, the way it's been all season, as it has been for both of these teams. You don't expect much to change in the tourney, obviously. Teron Harvey, John Dodson, Luke Johnson, Mike Blazik, and Adam Reynolds. Tip is punched out of bounds. Hardin-Simmons will open with possession. I was talking to some of the coaches before the game today. They said the same thing. Look, if you don't have goosebumps going into this game, you're crazy. Hardin-Simmons can shoot. Here's Dwayne Hopper for three, in and out. Teron Harvey, the quick rebound, and he lost it out of bounds. Hardin-Simmons knocked down 11 three-pointers on Thursday night at Texas Lutheran. Christian O'Neill with the ball in his left hand, working on John Dodson. He gives it to Nathaniel Jack, stepping back. Three on the way from Cameron Barnes is no good. Rebounds and transition, two of the big things to watch for each of these squads tonight. John Dodson, the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Defensive Player of the Year, pulls up in the lane and misses the 10-footer. Quick rebound for the big man, Justin Jones inside, who is the national leader in shot blocks. O'Neill in transition, counted in a foul. Christian O'Neill is the leading scorer for Hardin-Simmons this season. He is averaging 13.6 points per game. Coming into your living room, a replay of the shot from O'Neill. Hardin-Simmons 8-8 in road games this year, but a big road victory on Thursday night. O'Neill misses the free throw. It's Luke Johnson with a rebound, and he threw it away. O'Neill looking to run, leaves it in the lane, and scoring is Cameron Barnes. Now, something to keep your eye on. In the NCAA tournaments, there are media timeouts, which is a difference from normal games. You only have 4 timeouts to work with as a program. So you got to kind of use them strategically. Just over a minute in, it's a 4-0 lead for the visitors from Hardin-Simmons. Blazik spots up for 3. Bingo. That'll ignite the home crowd as Mike Blazik puts Benedictine on the board. The other way, pulling up, it's O'Neill. Off the mark, Reynolds with the rebound. These teams are going to be running up and down the floor. Could be a high-scoring track meet. Against the zone, Dodson dumps it off for Johnson, and he scores. Benedictine in front for the first time at 5-4. Barnes kicks it out towards O'Neill. O'Neill on the move to the baseline. It's Jones, long 2, no good. Adam Reynolds controls the rebound. In transition, Harvey left it short. He was forced to adjust against the big 6'8" frame of Justin Jones. And that's what that inside presence will do. Shot clock half gone. O'Neal starts to work. 3 from Hopper. Draws iron, but an offensive rebound and putback attempt from Nathaniel Jack. Rebound still loose. And it's Teron Harvey once again. Harvey to Reynolds underneath. Well, right now, Hardin Simmons having problems getting back in transition. Ball in the right hand of Hopper. Zipping it into the post for Nathaniel Jack. Resetting is O'Neal. Shot clock at 10. Here comes the screen. O'Neal working on Blazik. Rotates into the corner. On the drive, it's Barnes, and he scores. 7-6, Benedictine by a point early on. Harvey with a long 3. Rebound loose, and Blazik keeps it alive as Cameron Barnes could not secure for Hardin Simmons. Johnson will shoot from there. He spots Harvey, who dribbles in and floats home the 16-footer. You know, honestly, there was some thought that Teron Harvey may have had just as much of an opportunity as Luke Johnson to earn the Conference Player of the Year award. We're staring at our first timeout here coming with Benedictine up by 3. Barnes on the take, over Johnson, in and out. Johnson with a quick rebound. Benedictine looking to run. It's Dodson head up, blowing past O'Neal. Dodson into the corner, Harvey on the drive. Harvey skips, Blazik spotting up. His 3 is good. Make it 12-6. Benedictine doubling up Hardin Simmons. 4.5 passed in this opening 20 minutes of play. Barnes leaves it for O'Neal. Now it's Jack. A lot of inside-out perimeter game for Hardin Simmons. Shot clock winding down as they seek a spot. It's Jones working on Johnson. Baseline spin move, knocked free. Johnson out of bounds, and we've got a timeout. With 15-12 to play in the first half, Benedictine doubling up Hardin Simmons 12-6. This is the 2016 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament.
And memorabilia. Caleb Smoot checks in for the Cowboys.
First time out of the game, Benedictine with a 12-6 advantage. And a rejection. Get a look at the inbounds play. It was Adam Reynolds with the shot block. And we've got a shot clock violation for Hardin Simmons. Good defense by Benedictine to start. And a whistle as the entry pass headed into the vicinity of Luke Johnson.
Justin Jones called for the foul. That's his first. Both teams with one team foul.
Luke Johnson off the glass and in.
That's glass and 2. Luke Johnson, Eagles.
14-6, Benedictine with the advantage. Deshaun Dixon left it short. Boy, Benedictine is really forcing Hardin Simmons to try and play a half-court game. Hardin Simmons shot over 60% from the field as Blazik connects in that victory on Thursday night at Texas Lutheran. It has been anything but an easy ride to start for the visitors, who find themselves down by double digits. Deshaun Dixon checked in along with Caleb Spoon, who has a tremendous outside shot. Spoon has knocked down 10 straight from three-point range. Jones with a long 2. His J is long. Blazik kept it alive as he's falling out of bounds and knocks it to John Dodson. Inside for Reynolds, off the glass and in. Everything going right for Benedictine at the start of the ball game tonight. Here's Spoon. He's made 10 in a row. That streak ends. Dixon with the putback, and he'll have a couple of shots upcoming. Caleb Spoon had made 10 in a row from the American Southwest Tournament Championship against Louisiana College to the first round game against Texas Lutheran. But he misses here on his first attempt today. Free throw is good. You know, the one thing that these media timeouts do, it shortens your bench. And for Hardin Simmons, the Cowboys don't really have a very deep bench anyhow. They only go about 8 deep. The thing with Benedictine's bench, while there hasn't been a lot of production in terms of points, it's been a good mix, because in a lot of cases, as you see currently, you still have 3 starters on the floor mixed in with the 2 reserves. And they play well off of each other, still creating opportunities in the flow of the offense. Here's Harvey, speaking of. Little short, but Tim Reamer who checks in with the offensive rebound. One more pass for Johnson. Corner three-pointer is perfect. Another three-pointer for Benedictine to start. And a 21-8 lead with 13 minutes left in the first half. Jack nearly threw it away. Dixon is underneath. He adjusts and scores. 21-10. Teron Harvey looks for Braden Olson. Olson drives, tried to kiss it off the glass. No, but there was Luke Johnson. Just using his long arms to reach up and knock it into the net. The Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Player of the Year. Entry pass down for Jones, no good. It's been tough for Jones underneath to start as well. He's tried the inside and the outside. Here's Johnson, he's left uncontested, 4-3 short. Rebound coming at me, look out. And with 12:07 to play in the first half, it's 23-10, Benedictine in front. Sean Salter off the bench for Benedictine. Matt Chalton is there as well. Dixon comes out, ball on his hip, head fake, has yet to put it in motion. And now around the arc it goes. Jack has a screen from Lease, rolls left. Jack on the take, over the top of Reamer, tried to kiss it home, and Chalton deflects the rebound to Teron Harvey. Transition offense for Benedictine. It's been Benedictine running in transition rather than Hardin Simmons. Harvey for 3. Draws iron, and Nathaniel Jack elevates for the board. You know, he's only listed at 6'3" on the roster, but Jack plays a lot taller than that. American Southwest Conference Tournament MVP, Nathaniel Jack. 13 points and 12 rebounds in the victory over Texas Lutheran on Thursday night. And a three-pointer for Deshaun Dixon. Hardin Simmons within 10 at 23-13. Harvey with his head up. We've got an offensive foul We'll have a stoppage with 11:03. 23-13. 10-point margin for Benedictine as we break in the first half, 23-13.
Student athletes compete in NCAA championships at more than 800 sites across the country. Find a championship near you. Visit ncaa.com/tickets.
I'm Tim Calderwood from a near-capacity Dan and Anna Rice Center on the campus of Benedictine University. Second round of the NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. Benedictine and Hardin-Simmons. Benedictine took the lead at 5-4, has been in front since after Hardin-Simmons netted the first 4 points of the game today. Out of the media timeout, Ryan Lease will trigger a three-pointer off to the left. Matt Chulton, the quick rebound and outlet ahead to John Dodson. Dodson directing traffic for Benedictine. As we near the midpoint of the half, here's Tim Reamer. He lost the handle. Ends up in the paws of Dwayne Hopper. O'Neal pulls up just inside the arc. His 18-footer won't go. And it's Tim Reamer with position on Deshaun Dixon. Transition pass thrown away. That's the one thing Benedictine has to be careful of in transition. How about the move coming from Lease, but Tim Reamer holding his ground. Braden Olson falling to the deck. And it is out of bounds. It'll stay with Benedictine. Past the midpoint of the first half. 10-point game, Benedictine with the lead. Olson into Dodson. Shot clock down to 10. He lobs for Reamer inside and scores. Mismatch against Ryan Lease inside. Tim Reamer, the sixth man off the bench for Benedictine, averaging nearly 10 points per game. Here's Dixon to answer for three, long. And Chulton controls the rebound. Boy, Hardin-Simmons really has not been able to chip into this Benedictine advantage. Not been able to come up with that stop on the defensive end to get this deficit under double figures here in the first half. Olson with the ball in his right hand. To Chulton in the corner, leaving for Reamer. Back out high, it's Sean Salter. He'll try the three, in and out. O'Neal the board. Both teams have been pretty strong on the glass so far. Not many second chances. And Dwayne Hopper wasn't ready for the transition feed. A reset for Hardin-Simmons with Cameron Barnes, Nathaniel Jack, and Justin Jones back on the hardwood. Mike Blazik returning for Benedictine. 9 minutes to play in the first half. 12-point Benedictine advantage. 25-13. Dodson steps out in the triple threat. Starts to move as the shot clock ticks down to 10. Here's Chulton off a screen up high. Rotating left. Dodson calling it out with 5. Has a screen. Curls. Baseline. Runs into a crowd. Dodson has to hurry. Adjusts. And it didn't touch any rim. So a shot clock violation. Good defense by Hardin-Simmons to help down low. Forcing John Dodson to hesitate with that shot clock nearly expiring. On the take, scoring is Cameron Barnes, just using his speed to blow past the baseline. Reamer underneath. Out to Dodson. Chalton bouncing for Reamer. Reamer over the top, couldn't get the roll. Jones fighting amongst his own teammates to grab the board. 7:50 to play first half. Here's a chance for Hardin-Simmons to get that deficit under double figures. O'Neal gestures for the play. Jack lobbing for Jones. No help on him. Jones to the right corner. Hopper tries the three. It's short. And Salter makes it one and done. 7.5 to play. Coming up on a stoppage here, the next dead ball. Reamer takes it all the way himself.
Basket, Tim Reamer.
Tim Reamer started a couple games at the end of the season, posted double-doubles with 20-plus points in each of those contests. That was due to an injury to Adam Reynolds. Reamer's a senior for Benedictine. And a travel. 7:07 left. 27-15, Benedictine with the advantage as we step aside. This is the 2016 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament.
VIP style with the NCAA experience. Get exclusive access, premium tickets, and hospitality packages all from one source. Visit ncaa.com/VP to secure your VIP champion experience today.
Timeout's kind of stretching out the ball game a little bit. 7:07 to play. Deshaun Dixon off the bench with 7 points, leading Hardin-Simmons. Cameron Barnes with 4. Top scorer for Benedictine right now, Luke Johnson 9, Mike Blazek 8. Inside of 7 minutes left in the first half. Benedictine by 12. Blazek cross court, the hands of O'Neal in the way. Dodson drives anyhow. The tip-in attempt by Johnson misses wide. And it's Jack on the weak side of the floor. Here comes Hardin-Simmons. Jack crisscrossing to O'Neal on the move as well. Shot clock half gone. Here's Barnes. Baseline. Jack connects. Showing his range. Adam Reynolds never really closed out defensively. Once again, a 10-point lead at 27-17. Johnson isolated on the baseline. He's going to shoot. Rimmed around a couple times, and Johnson working on his follow-through as Hardin-Simmons moves in transition, pulling up his O'Neal, and in and out. Boy, neither side really crashing the offensive glass. Johnson steps in, and a tap-in from Adam Reynolds. The other way, it's Hardin-Simmons with a response. Cameron Barnes. Underneath, Hardin-Simmons comes away off of the miss. Dixon follows through, left it short, chases his shot, it's on the ground. And a jump ball will head Benedictine's direction. 5:17 to play in this first half. 29-19 on the scoreboard. Benedictine by 10. Hardin-Simmons, after shooting over 60% in the ball game on Thursday to knock off Texas Lutheran, shooting just 26% to start today. Benedictine, meanwhile, at 55%. Some of the early numbers as we close in on 5 minutes left. Cholton in front of the Hardin-Simmons bench. Up high to Harvey, crisscrossing, back to Johnson. Driving, Johnson taking, Johnson scoring. Luke Johnson into double figures for Benedictine, and a whistle with 4:48 remaining. Foul is on Teron Harvey. That is the fifth on Benedictine. Just the first on Harvey. Make that the fourth on Benedictine. Only 5 fouls so far. The officials out of the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association have let them play. Dixon for 3. Little long. Teron Harvey there on the weak side. Johnson in for Reynolds. Backing in, turning around, left the hook shot short. Justin Jones on the glass. Here's Barnes running into Blazik. Up high, Jones to shoot. In and out. Jones has attempted 37 threes on the season, but he's only made 8 of those. Blazik in transition, short. Reynolds has a chance, and it's Blazik who cleans up.
Basket, put back by Michael Blazik.
Double figures for Blazik and a 14-point advantage, biggest of the night for Benedictine. Barnes tries the 3, short. Johnson the rebound. Johnson slings it ahead for Harvey, 3-on-2. A lob pass for Reynolds, no. I don't think he realized Cholton was probably the intended target. And it is Benedictine ball. We got a timeout with 3:42 to play in the first half. 33-19, Benedictine in front. This is the 2016 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament.
Can no longer attend. Buy and sell with confidence at the NCAA Ticket Exchange. Knowing tickets are authentic and 100% guaranteed. For more information, visit ncaa.com/exchange.
Strong start for Benedictine at home against Hardin-Simmons. Hardin-Simmons has really been slowed down here to start the game. Team scoring nearly 86 points per game and liking to run. Ryan Lease misses in transition. The other way, it's Benedictine and Blazik on the run.
Michael Blazik.
And we've got a whistle here. Head coach Craig Karst from Hardin-Simmons is off the bench talking to one of the referees. Injured player, that's why. 35-19.
Forms of legal and illegal sports wagering, as it has
16-point advantage.
Undermine the integrity of sports contests and jeopardizes the welfare of student athletes and the intercollegiate athletics community.
It is the largest lead of the day to this point for Benedictine. 3:28 left in the opening half. This Hardin-Simmons roster primarily draws from Texas. One player out of Santa Rosa, California. Pretty young team as well. Cameron Barnes is the only senior, so you have to figure Hardin-Simmons experiencing NCAA championship action for the first time will be back in full force next season, having gained experience this year. They played Baylor in the regular season. It was an exhibition for Hardin-Simmons, but Baylor is in the top 15 in Division I. O'Neal with the left hand. Looking for Spoon. He runs into a crowd, spots the open Jack, who will toss it in over the top of Reynolds.
Basket Cowboys, Nathaniel Jack.
Nathaniel Jack, 6'3" junior from Mart, Texas. Averaging a double-double for Hardin Simmons this year at 11.3 rebounds per game to go with his 11.7 points. Shot clock down to 10. Johnson posting and a whistle as Johnson obstructed. Foul is on Dwayne Hopper. Tim Reamer off the bench for Benedictine, leading 35-21. Just the second foul against Hardin Simmons in the game. Harvey had some issues inbounding to Blazik. Triggers the three-pointer, it's long. That is Blazik's first miss from three-point range today. But a second chance coming for Benedictine, who owns a 27-14 advantage on the glass. Boy, you wouldn't think it, but Benedictine with 11 second chance points. And Johnson nearly stripped. But another foul coming on Hopper, which will be his second.
That's the third team foul for Hardin Simmons.
Justin Jones will return. Benedictine head coach Keith Bunkenberg won his 300th game last season. Here's Johnson off the alley-oop. That'll bring the crowd to their feet here in Lisle. He's had a couple of those throughout the course of the season. 37-21, Benedictine in front. Jack has it blocked by Johnson. He is so effective on both ends of the floor. Little hot to handle for Harvey in the corner as he backs up. Under two. Reamer against Jack. Jones in to help. And a foul.
Taking a shot. Tim Reamer draws the foul. Foul charged to Justin Jones. That is his second. Both teams now with 4 team fouls. Tim Reamer
stepping to the free throw line.
For Benedictine.
No good on his first attempt. Reamer on the season. For Benedictine, shooting 79% from the free throw line. It's actually second on the team. When all is said and done, he could set a conference and school record for field goal percentage. Staring into the Benedictine student section as Reamer hits the second. 17-point edge, biggest of the day for Benedictine at 38-21. Dixon over to Spoon. Around the arc it goes. O'Neal on the take. Knocked away by John Dodson. Dodson, throughout the course of the season, has drawn the assignment of the top scorer from the opposition. And he has done a very good job of making it a difficult day. Shot clock down to 10. O'Neal spots an open Jack, but he has to adjust, and Johnson knocks it away. Boy, he had to adjust because of Tim Reamer, and Luke Johnson came out of nowhere to record the block. Johnson set a single-season Benedictine record for blocks, and Hardin Simmons is going to throw it away with $1:16 to play in the first half. 38-21, Benedictine with the edge and a timeout.
Timeout called.
With the media timeouts, you have 4 timeouts total, 3:31 full. If you don't take a 30 in the first half, you lose it, so it's almost like a free timeout here for Hardin Simmons. The Cowboys gather under head coach Craig Karst. And there's the Benedictine huddle. Benedictine is hosting an NCAA tournament game for the first time since 2001, a loss to Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Head coach Keith Bunkenberg has never before visited the second round. He didn't have to win a game to get there this year. Keith Bunkenberg, the Benedictine head coach, in his 7th NCAA tournament coaching-wise. 6 of those have been as the head man. Looking for his first win in the tournament as a head coach. He was an assistant on the 1990-1991 team for Benedictine, which set many of the records that have fallen this year. and reached the national quarterfinals, the furthest advancement ever by a Benedictine squad. Out of the timeout, just over a minute remaining, Benedictine ball.
1 minute.
17-point advantage. Reamer on the baseline, out to Blazik. Three-pointer is in and out. Reamer, though, one-arms the rebound and just couldn't secure it. Good job of Cameron Barnes to stick with it. Here's transition, and Spoon never got his feet underneath. Something that wasn't there for Hardin Simmons on Thursday, which is to say the problems in transition. They never had those closeouts defensively on the shooters. And 11 three-pointers made by Hardin Simmons in the win over Texas Lutheran. Timeout, Benedictine. As I said, kind of a free timeout to make sure you have it still. 30 seconds. With 41.8 left in a first half dominated by Benedictine after Hardin Simmons scored the first 4 points of the game. Shun Dixon with 7 points, 6 each from Cameron Barnes and Nathaniel Jack. Leading Hardin Simmons, Jack with 4 rebounds. Justin Jones is 0 for 5 to start. On the flip side, Luke Johnson, 13 points, 8 rebounds for Benedictine. Mike Blazik having a first half as well. Blazik has cooled off a touch, but he's 5 of 7 from the field, 12 points for him. Teron Harvey with 7 rebounds from his guard position. And it's Harvey with the ball in the corner working on Barnes. Threw it away. Jack steps in front. Can Hardin Simmons put together a little bit of a run here in transition? Barnes had it kind of slip out of his hands. And the shot clock is off. Will Benedictine hold for the final shot here? I guess there's about a 2/10 of a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So you can essentially hold for the final shot, although the half would not expire. Dodson will wait with 10 seconds. Dodson to the hole. Over Spoon, no good. Reamer underneath adjusts. And it's Reamer again, and Nathaniel Jack will grab it as we reach the half. 38-21 is your score at the break. The crowd here at Benedictine rises in appreciation of one of the best first halves that Benedictine has put together this year. A 17-point lead headed to the locker room in the second round of the NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament.
Or former members of our armed services.
Oh, we'll step aside. Got an interview coming for you in a few minutes with Brian Van Haften, who's the chairman of the Men's National Committee. He'll give you a little bit of an inside look as to what happens in terms of selecting the tournament. So we'll get that your way in a few moments. In the meantime, it's 38-21, Benedictine in front at the break.
The Benedictine University Dance Team.
The party is ending at 2 a.m. So whatever you must do it now. Guess who's back again, yeah. She's back, tell a friend. Now everyone report to the dance floor, All right, stop. Pajama time. I'm gonna make you dance. Get your chance. Now lose it. Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh baby. Now stop popping roll. Everybody leaning. I make the crowd rock. Now go and pump it out. I see they on my job. She want that bubble gum. Is they double me? Two hoes shooting me, so I know that I'm a win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Benedictine University dance team. And now, let's hear from the Benedictine University pep band.
It's halftime here at the Rice Center on the campus of Benedictine University. I'm Tim Calderwood, joined by the head men's basketball coach at Buena Vista University, Mr. Brian Van Haften, who is also, no big deal, the chairman of the men's basketball committee. Let me ask you this to start out, Brian. How closely are you following kind of the action everywhere else besides here?
I'm following very closely everywhere because tomorrow we got to decide who's going to host and all that kind of thing, so we're spending a lot of time with it.
You know, one thing I don't think people realize is that as a member of the committee, your work just isn't limited to Selection Sunday, is it?
No, it isn't. It's a long process. We started about mid-January, and we spent a lot of time each week. And in fact, we started working on the bracket about 3 weeks ahead of time.
Now, I know you guys were done pretty early on Selection Sunday, if I remember right. What made you guys so confident with this year's bracket that you got through it relatively easily?
Well, we kind of do what Joe Lenardi does, kind of do our own bracketology, and the bracket didn't take us long because we only had to put in 3 or 4 other teams that had made it, like Middlebury, St. Olaf, Denison. We had to kind of work them into the bracket, but other than that, we had a lot of it done.
Do those last-minute changes force a lot of adjustments into how you bracket things?
Unfortunately, they do. It makes a lot of changes because, especially because we have 500 miles to work with for every pod. And then at the last second, we were told that the 2 Texas schools, only one of them could travel. And that was kind of a last-minute thing, too. So it actually made it a little bit easier for us. Then, when Benedictine was the #1 seed in the Central, we decided to have them go up to a major airport in Chicago and just made it easy.
How happy were you with how things turned out?
I'm really happy with how it turned out. I thought our group did a great job. We have a great group of people who are really committed to this whole thing, and it's not perfect, but our games aren't perfect, all that kind of thing either. So, but I thought we did a nice job with it, and I thought our committee came together really well.
How many others are there actually together on that call every week?
8 of us, plus our NCAA liaison, Elisa Halpin, so 9.
Your work's not done, though. You still got more to go as you keep moving forward, right?
Right. Well, most of our work is done. Now we can just watch. Tomorrow we decide who the hosts are going to be, and that'll be based on geography, basically, so that won't be that hard. And then we'll have to staff every game next week, every site next week, and we have to get the officials. So the officials are a big part of it, too.
Take us through Selection Sunday. What do you guys do during that time together?
Well, we got together with my own region in the West region, first of all, at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then at 10 o'clock in the morning, we got together with our national committee and made sure all the regions were correct. That took us about 2.5 hours. We took about an hour lunch, and then we got together and picked our 19 teams. Then we had 18 teams, and we still had to wait to see who won the Lynchburg game. Because if Lynchburg lost, then they were going to be our 19th team. So it took us a little bit to wait on them, and that took us a while to get the last 19 teams. And then we took another hour break, and then came back with a bracket, which probably took us about an hour.
Is it a stressful experience or is it a fun experience?
For me, it's fun. Stress is coaching on the sidelines for my own team. I don't consider this to be that much stress. I consider it a lot of fun.
What all do you guys take time, I guess, to look at when you're talking to each other to find these teams?
Well, we look at strength of schedule. We look at record. We look at how teams did against teams who had won 60% of their games. We take a look at how they did against common opponents, which isn't much when you compare St. Olaf and Rochester University. There's not much to compare. So it comes down to strength of schedule, who you beat, and all those kinds of things. It's not who you play, it's who you beat.
I'm guessing that it's then kind of a varying amount of time that you spend on each team, whether some of them I'm sure were like, all right, they're in. Others I'm sure you had to go back and forth on a little while.
Correct. The first 14 teams were fairly easy, and the last 5 are extremely difficult.
So you've got to actually put the teams in the tournament before you can bracket, right?
Right. And with the brackets we were working on, we were just guessing that we'd probably be right. But then when we get to that point, then you got to make sure you got the right teams in the bracket. And so it is tedious to a certain extent.
I can imagine. That's Brian Van Haften. He's the chairman of the men's basketball committee. It's halftime here at the Rice Center in Lisle, Illinois. Benedictine on top of Hardin-Simmons. Back with more, some stats your way in a few moments.
As these athletes warm up for the second half, let's give you some statistics from the first half. Leading scorer for Hardin-Simmons Cowboys is Deshaun Dixon. He has a total of 7 points, hitting 2 of 2 from the free throw line. The Cowboys hit 67% of their free throws, 2 of 3. And the leading scorer for the game plays for Benedictine University, Luke Johnson, with 13 points. Michael Blazik has 12, hitting 2 of 4 from outside the arc. The Eagles lead with field goals, 44%, three-point shots, 33%, and free throws at 50%, 1 out of 2. When play resumes, it will be the Cowboys that bring the ball back into play, and second verse same as the first for the Cowboys. That means Caleb Caleb Spoon, Dwayne Hopper, Christian O'Neill, Cameron Barnes, Justin Jones, and Nathaniel Jack. For the Eagles, it'll be Teron Harvey, John Dotson, Luke Johnson, Michael Blazik, and Adam Reynolds.
First half is in the books. Benedictine 38, Hardin Simmons 21. Hardin Simmons, who shot over 60% on Thursday night. A road win at Texas Lutheran to advance to the second round game here at Benedictine. Shooting only 24% today, just 9 of 38. Additionally, Hardin Simmons is only 1 of 12 from three-point range. Another number. Benedictine doubling up Hardin Simmons on the glass, 34-17. 10 of those offensive rebounds leading to 13 second chance points. Hardin Simmons scored the first 4 points of the game. Benedictine stormed back immediately, took the lead, and quickly stretched it to double figures. Hardin Simmons had a couple of chances to try and get it under double digits, but to no avail in the first half, and Benedictine actually extended the lead as the half wore on. Big thanks to Brian Van Haften, the head coach at Buena Vista University out in Iowa. He's the chairman of the West Regional Committee and also the chairman of the Men's Basketball Championship Committee. Put together the bracket, some insightful thoughts on how the bracket was put together and what it's like on Selection Sunday, among others. Individually right now, Luke Johnson leading Benedictine, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Mike Blazik with 12 points. Teron Harvey, 4 assists and 8 rebounds for Benedictine, who is shooting 43.6% from the field, 17 of 39. Hardin Simmons led by Deshaun Dixon with 7 points off the bench. Nathaniel Jack and Cameron Barnes, 6 each as well. And if you're Hardin Simmons and head coach Craig Karts, who, by the way, missed a majority of the season due to health problems, assistant coach Ryan Stubbs actually served as the head coach for a majority of the season. But Craig Karts on the sidelines right now, and the biggest thing he has to be emphasizing to his team is let's start to slowly chip away. They're not playing terribly defensively, they're just giving up a lot of opportunities. The offense has not been able to get started in transition. And it's a 17-point advantage for Benedictine at halftime. 38-21 on the board. Second versus same as the first in terms of the 5 on the floor for Benedictine. Harvey, Dodson, Blazik, Reynolds, and Johnson. For Hardin Simmons, it is Hopper, Jones, Jack, Barnes, and O'Neill. O'Neill in his left hand to the top of the key for Jack. Working on Teron Harvey. Back out it goes. Barnes stripped. Blazik the steal. Looks to run. Blazik in transition. Finishes. He was forced to adjust and still found a way to slow down at the right moment and deposit points 39 and 40 for Benedictine in the ball game. 19-point edge as the lead grows. O'Neill has some problems with the handle. Here's Barnes with the head fake. To the baseline, Jones driving, zipping. Long 3 from O'Neill is perfect. Perhaps that's what Hardin Simmons needs to get started on the offensive end. A long-range 3 that looked as though it was easy. 16-point advantage for Benedictine at 40-24. Hardin Simmons is going to need to start to knock down three-pointers to get back into the game. Blazik passing on a 3 of his own. Was wide open but continues to work, and now he'll fire in and out. Jack on the glass. Rebounds have to be a big key for Hardin Simmons moving forward as well. Barnes around the arc it goes. O'Neill for 3. Johnson with the rebound, his 9th of the day, and he is held up by a Hopper who will commit his 3rd foul. And as such, Deshaun Dixon off the bench. Dixon, a junior from Corpus Christi, Texas. Hardin Simmons is out of the American Southwest Conference. Finished 8-6 this season, a tie for second in the West Division. Majority of those programs are in Texas. Dodson the long two, no good. Jones again tangling with his own teammate. You're looking at Louisiana College, Laterno, Texas Tyler, East Texas Baptist, and a long two from O'Neill. Texas Dallas, Howard Payne, Sul-Ross State. Reynolds on the drive after faking on the three. Tried to chase his shot, kept it alive for Harvey along the baseline. Harvey around Dixon, able to score. Boy, every time Benedictine has been able to adjust, they have resulted in points. Dixon with a three of his own, and the shooting is indeed heating up for Hardin Simmons here in the second half. 42-29, Harvey with a right hand, back of the rim. And Jack with the rebound. Another three-pointer. Here we go. Deshaun Dixon with back-to-back threes. And it's down to 10 at 42-32. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Harvey to the elbow. Harvey in the lane. Harvey short. And a foul on the rebound. Let's see, who is this on? Actually, they'll say it's just out of bounds to Benedictine, as Barnes was stepping out. Yep, Adam Reynolds was pointing it out. Harvey lost it off his foot. Each team with 3 timeouts left. 2:30s and a full. We also have the media timeouts here in the second half. O'Neill threw it away. He was expecting Caleb Spoon to be there. Harvey, what a move around Spoon. And he is fouled. Just kind of a little bit of hesitation as Spoon went for the steal. Harvey switched hands and went right around him. First team all-conference choice to Ron Harvey. He's a junior from the immediate DuPage County area here in Chicagoland. Played at Glenbard East. Very good program for a couple of years. Blazik to the hole with a left hand. Another DuPage County product out of Naperville, Illinois. 44-32 and a foul on the other end. Michael Blazik smiles about it.
First for the Eagles this half.
O'Neill crisscrossing. Stripped away by Dodson, and Harvey slowed up. The whistles starting to accumulate. Christian O'Neill with the foul. That is his first. You look at the scrum for the basketball. Cameron Barnes enters, replacing O'Neill with 16:14 to play in the ball game. Benedictine up a dozen. Have led by double digits since about the 7-minute mark or so of the first half. Johnson, free throw line extended. Posting up on Dixon. Help coming as Jones drops down. Reynolds will try the three, and he hits. Adam Reynolds showcasing some range. He, like Luke Johnson, a post player not afraid to shoot, although Reynolds has only attempted 28 threes this year. We'll have a timeout with 15:36 to play. 47-32.
Nathaniel Jack shooting 2. Division 3 student
47-32, Benedictine in front. You're watching the 2016 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament.
Well-rounded individuals by participating in activities outside of the classroom and to dedicate themselves to achieving their full potential in sport and in life. Discover, develop, dedicate. That's the Division III experience. To learn more about Division III, visit www.ncaa.org/D3.
.36 to play in the game. Benedictine in front by 15. The winner of the contest today now knows their opponent for next weekend. Ohio Wesleyan University winning at home. Watched some of their game yesterday. A very impressive performance last night. 97-94 Ohio Wesleyan over Lynchburg. And you heard Brian Van Haften mentioned at the half as we were talking to him that the committee will gather again tomorrow morning to talk about who hosts next weekend as Nathaniel Jack hits the first free throw. Jack ready again, and his second is no good. Luke Johnson into double figures on the glass. Hardin Simmons started to heat up to begin the second half, made 3 consecutive long-range jumpers, hit 4 long-rangers overall to start the half, battled to within 10 after being down by 17. But have been able to pull no closer as Benedictine tightening up on defense and starting to put some separation again. Johnson head fake. Johnson switches hands. What a move by Luke Johnson. 49-33, Benedictine by 16 with 5 minutes passed. Here's Spoon for a 3 and an out. And he had made 10 straight from long range over the last 2 contests. Pretty high level as well. Johnson with a long one of his own off the back of the rim. Maybe a quick shot there. But Teron Harvey a rebound. Harvey, a guard for Benedictine, but a very good rebounding guard at 6'2". Always seems to find his nose to the basketball. 14.5 to play. Dodson adjusts and a whistle.
Driving to the basket, John Dodson draws a foul. Foul's charged to Deshaun Dixon. John Dodson shooting 2.
John Dodson will head to the line for Benedictine. Dodson 63% this year. First free throw, no good. And as we're 5.5 minutes into the second, our first sub for Benedictine, that's Tim Reamer. So I kind of talked about at the outset, the pauses in action every 4 minutes enable you to kind of thin out that bench, for better or for worse. Dodson couldn't hit either, and Justin Jones with one arm boxes out and secures the rebound. Jones has been really quiet on both ends of the floor. For the ball game, he does not have a block, and Jones led all divisions in shot blocks. And he will head to the bench.
Dwayne Hopper, and returning for the Eagles is Braden Olson.
$14-10 to play in the game. Jack backs up, crisscrossing against Blazik. Zips it to Hopper. He tries to float it home. Forced to kind of adjust, well short, but Jack the strong side board. Rebounding a little better for Hardin Simmons here in the second half as well. But again, they need to consistently come up with stops on the defensive end. Johnson with the block, but body first, as it was Dixon on his way to the hole. Deshaun Dixon averaging 11.6 points per game. He has been the man, the primary scorer for Hardin Simmons today. His first free throw is no good. Dixon, a 90% shooter from the line this year. You know, Hardin Simmons came in yesterday after that long turnaround from down in Texas. And basically during their 90-minute practice on Friday, only worked on free throws just to kind of rest the legs, wanted to get in, get a feel for the gym a little bit. Braden Olson to the hole, and his layup is in and out. And again, it's Jack on the glass. Here's Barnes for three, and it's good. Just 1 of 12 from three-point range to start the game for Hardin Simmons. They have heated up here in the second half. Hardin Simmons, one of the top teams nationwide in terms of three-point percentage, anything but today. A credit to the Benedictine defense. Reamer able to save the rebound. Little lob for Johnson, kept alive by Harvey, out to Blazik, and he hits the three-pointer. Blazik is shaken up as well. They'll try to get back into the act defensively. Having some contact issues, it would appear. Braden Olson with the foul. Let's have a look at Blazik. Looks like on the follow-through he caught a hand. He's still battling with it momentarily. Pair of 11s enter. Matt Chulton for Benedictine, Christian O'Neill for Hardin Simmons. 12:49 left in the contest. 15-point edge, 52-37. Another three-pointer. It's Hopper in the corner. 6'5" junior from Abilene. Chulton from 18 off the mark. It is out of bounds and will stay with Benedictine. Harvey, the trigger man for Benedictine, with a fresh 30. Reamer spinning in the lane. Connects. O'Neill ends up a heap. That's Barnes rather on the ground, and he just gets up shaking his head, muttering to himself. 12:15 to play. Barnes and a whistle. Couple of shots coming as Olson ends up on the deck. It'll be Olson committing the foul as well. That is his second, 6 on Benedictine. Barnes on his way to the line. Hardin Simmons with only 3 free throws in the first half. Benedictine just 2. So the officials letting them go for the most part to start as Barnes splashes in his first attempt. Cameron Barnes at 68% from the line, and a timeout for Hardin Simmons.
In other NCAA action, the winner of tonight's game on Friday.
54-41 with 12:11 to play in the game. A timeout. Benedictine in front. This is the 2016 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament.
With 1 shot remaining, Cameron Barnes is at the stripe for Hardin Simmons.
Cameron Barnes to the free throw line. He'll have one more attempt for Hardin Simmons to try and bring the visitors within 12 on this Saturday night here in suburban Chicagoland. He does. Sean Salter, John Dodson, Mike Blazik, Matt Chulton, Tim Reamer, the 5 for Benedictine. Dwayne Hopper, Deshaun Dixon, Christian O'Neill, Nathaniel Jack, and Cameron Barnes for Hardin Simmons. Dodson in the lane, off the feed from Blazik. Benedictine among the national leaders in assists this year, and it's plays like that. Here's Barnes all the way, and a foul, plus the bucket. Kind of slipped out of his hands, but he got the kiss off the window. And with 11:42 to go, we'll have a stoppage here with Benedictine leading by 12.
First and the 7th for the Eagles.
56-44 on the board. Benedictine by 12. We've got a timeout. This is the 2016 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament.
Division III makes up 40% of NCAA membership schools. Learn more about Division III at ncaa.org/D3.
Christian Barnes trying to finish a three-point play, and he does. 11-point edge, 56-45. .11.5 to go in the ball game. John Dodson picks up his dribble. Blazik on the baseline, steps back, three-pointer, perfect. Wow. You know, Blazik is that kind of player for Benedictine where he can knock him down left and right when he is on. There haven't been a lot of games when he's been totally on this season as Hardin Simmons turns it over, and the frustration building on the faces of the visitors here today. Dwayne Hopper knew that was in his grill. 11:05 left. Dodson to the top of the key. Over to Salter. He has Reamer posting. Shot clock is half past. Blazik spinning and out of bounds. Lost the handle. 59-45. And Barnes to the hole. Offensive foul. That'll draw the ire of Craig Kars, who is up off the bench.
The Cowboys charged with a charge.
Hardin Simmons shooting 70% here in the second half, but they really have not been able to chip into that lead. They've made 5 threes, but only 6 of 20 for the game. Salter surrounded. Dodson takes. Reamer kept it alive. Blazik steps back. Long two. Position for Barnes. Hardin Simmons screaming run. They just have not been able to get back in transition. Hopper will try the three. Uncontested. It's an 11-point game. Here comes the hot shooting of Hardin Simmons again. Dodson up high for Blazik. He threw it away, but Blazik recovers. Chalton for three with an answer. Boy, Matt Chalton for Benedictine this year. He transferred in. Has had moments where he has been almost unstoppable. Here's O'Neal with a quick response. Wide to the left. He's played in all 27 games. Chalton averaging a touch over 4 points. But had a contest late where he scored 18. Reamer has it poked free. Good defense by Dixon. And now a foul to go with it. Reamer's pumped up.
Deshaun Dixon charged with the foul, and that is his third.
Third foul on Deshaun Dixon.
For the Eagles.
64-48, Benedictine by 16. And a foul on Benedictine on the rebound. Sean Salter, the guilty party.
That's Sean's second foul.
9:21 left. And I believe it's bonus time, yes. So we're headed the other direction for free throws.
And so the Cowboys will go to the line shooting one and bonus. At the line for Hardin Simmons.
Nathaniel Jack is 1 of 2 at the line today. He has 7 points along with 8 rebounds. Deshaun Dixon with 14 off the bench. Cameron Barnes 13 for Hardin Simmons at present. Into the teeth of the student section. Jack takes a breath and misses. Sean Salter with a rebound. Barnes slips up. Harvey head up. It's one of the things Benedictine talked about coming into the game. $16-point edge for Benedictine with 9 minutes even left in the contest. The second round of the NCAA championship tournament. Dodson to beat the buzzer from the elbow. In and out, and it's free. Barnes comes away, looking to press. Here come the trailers for Hardin Simmons. Barnes all the way, in and out. Maybe tried to rush it a little bit himself. Dodson pulls up. And rebound for Hopper. Ball is free. O'Neal settles. Wants the lob. Defended by Benedictine. Cholton fronting the postman. O'Neal pulls up. O'Neal hits.
Basket Cowboys, Christian O'Neal.
For Hardin Simmons, you have to look at the start to the ball game today. Shooting just 24% in the first half. Salter for 3. Off the feed from Harvey. It's a 17-point edge.
Sean Salter.
It's right where it was at halftime. Wrap around for Jones underneath. Runs into Salter. Kept it alive. Out to Hopper. He'll try to float home the 3. It's short. Reamer chasing for the board on the strong side. Harvey hands it off to Dodson. Shot clock ticking down to 5. Dodson for 3. Dodson hits. Largest lead tonight, 20 points at 70-50. O'Neal hands it off to Jack, curling right. Now Hopper in front of the Hardin Simmons bench. Misses on the 3, but there is Jones with a putback. The first points today for Justin Jones. Man who came in averaging a double-double for Hardin Simmons. Salter underneath. Off the bounce pass from Reamer.
Pass class of 2.
Hopper spinning and a whistle.
While taking a shot.
Looking at the lowest point total this season for Hardin Simmons, 69 in a win against Texas Dallas at home, 69-64. Otherwise, looking up and down the line, especially in the last month, everything's been pretty much in the 80s and 90s and hundreds even. They've scored 103 times in the month of February. Timeout with 6:17 left. Benedictine by 20, 72-52.
Follow NCAA Division III on Facebook and Twitter for all your Division III updates, and join the conversation by using hashtag NCAA3. How about a big round of applause for the pep band doing a great job here tonight. At the line for the Cowboys, DIII Hopper, shooting 2.
DIII Hopper at the free throw line. His first attempt is short. 6:17 left in the season for one of these programs. Benedictine trying to keep an unbeaten year alive. Hopper splits the pair, and he'll exit for Deshaun Dixon. Last team to enter the NCAA field unbeaten was the University of St. Thomas in 2009. There were 2 unbeatens in this year's field. Benedictine 1, Lancaster Bible the other. Lancaster Bible lost yesterday to Worcester. So Benedictine has a chance to be the only unbeaten left in the nation. The last unbeaten team to win the national championship, Wisconsin-Platteville, back in 1998. A sloppy exchange as the teams trading turnovers. St. Thomas, by the way, lost in the sectional final, which is to say the Final 8, the game which would have sent them to the Final 4 back in 2009. 72-53, 19-point edge. Shot clock down to 10 as Teron Harvey retreats. Mike Blazek, 22 points. Luke Johnson, 15, and it's Johnson for 3 here. He banks it in. 18 and 11 for Johnson, plus a couple of blocks.
Johnson, Eagles.
Each team with 10 turnovers and a 10th foul against Benedictine. Teron Harvey also in double digits on the glass with 10.
And the 10th for
Benedictine trying to become the second team in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference to win in the NCAA tournament and be the first to reach the second weekend. O'Neal misses the first free throw. Could not have the friendly roll. Really a heck of a run by Hardin Simmons, all things considered, down the stretch. They won 4 in a row entering this contest as O'Neal just shakes his head following the second miss. Won all 3 in the American Southwest Conference Tournament, and then captured a game on the road at Texas Lutheran on Thursday night. 19-10 on the season. Automatic entrant from the American Southwest Conference. Spoon dumps it for Jones. He's rejected by Johnson. You know, it was going to be interesting to see how Jones and Johnson responded to each other. Neither really have an opportunity to see players on a regular basis that can match each other in the post. And it has been a tough day for Justin Jones, who is only 1 of 6 from the field. He does own 7 rebounds, but compare that to the 18 and 11 for Luke Johnson, who now has 3 blocks as well. And Jones without a single block today. 22-point advantage for Benedictine at 75-53 with 4:43 left. The winner meets Ohio Wesleyan next weekend at a site to be determined tomorrow. Adam Reynolds, the point man for Benedictine, as he works it in to Teron Harvey. Johnson tosses it in. He had some space in front to drive, but Johnson instead decided to use a little hook. 77-53. Spoon twisting to Jones with a dunk.
Basket Cowboys,
Justin Jones with his second field goal of the day, and an emphatic one. Hardin Simmons shooting almost 60% here in the second half. I go back to it, the start of the game. They came out strong, led 4-0 early, but with 4 minutes even to play, it's a 22-point advantage for Benedictine, and Craig Kars is digging deeper into his bench. Joe Hoop, a freshman for Hardin Simmons, on the floor, his first appearance today.
And Cameron Barnes back for Benedictine.
Adam Reynolds, 1-1 for Benedictine.
At the line for the Eagles is Adam Reynolds.
47-28, Benedictine is plus 19 on the glass. Reynolds missed the free throw. Tonight, quite frankly, very similar to the way the year has gone for Benedictine. Spoon steps back. He'll try the three. No good. Speaking of players who have had a frustrating day, Caleb Spoon is 0 of 3 from three-point range after making a perfect 10 of 10 in the last two contests. Three and a half left. Johnson working his way in. Shot clock down to 4. Hook shot draws iron. Rebound tapped out to Spoon. Can he run? Spoon slows up, thought about shooting. That's Hoop instead. Barnes with a long three. Benedictine will just let him shoot from out there, and miscommunication as Spoon and Dixon basically ran into each other on defense. Both gave up on the rebound. We're under 3 minutes left. 77-55, Benedictine with the edge. Harvey, ball in right hand, working clock, down to 10. Blazik receives the directions from the bench. Blazik to the lane, finish. 24 points for Blazik and a 24-point Benedictine lead. Hope the other way, and it's Johnson who meets him.
And the buzzer brings in Maverick Harris and Chase Scott.
Officials timeout with 2:25 left. 79-55, Benedictine in front. This is the 2016 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Tournament.
Fans, as a reminder, we ask that non-player staff personnel remain off the field of competition at all times, including the conclusion of tonight's event. Fans who enter the field of play may threaten the health and safety of others and will be subject.
Hoop for three out of the stoppage, splashes it home.
Possible legal action.
Hoop has played in 16 games this year. That's his third three-pointer. For the freshman from Santa Rosa, California. One of three freshmen on this Hardin Simmons squad. Again, losing only one player, Cameron Barnes. So the Cowboys will be back in full force next season. Down 21 here at Benedictine today with 2 minutes even to play. Adam Reynolds over to Blazik for three, and Mike Blazik with another. 27 points for Blazek, who has knocked down 5 3-pointers in the game. Blazek and Luke Johnson each with 20+. Here's Hope for another 3, and it's stuck on the backboard. Arrow is to Benedictine, and Keith Bunkenberg will delve into his bench. Hardin Simmons has already gone deep with Maverick Harris. Chase Scott entering the contest along with Hope. Caleb Spoon, Cameron Barnes, the only holdovers for Hardin Simmons. Now it's Harvey, Zach Gorney, Brayden Olson, Tim Reamer, and Michael Blazek for Benedictine. We have 90 seconds left in a 24-point game. Scott touched it out of bounds, so Benedictine retains. Blazek steps back. 17-footer no. Reamer's tap. And it's settled down by Hardin Simmons. Hope all the way. Hope off the window and in. Hope has provided some solid minutes off the bench. 1 minute to play. Some more subs at the table for Benedictine as Teron Harvey dribbles around. Blazek spinning, Blazek finishing. What a performance for Michael Blazek, and he has a steal to add to it. Here comes Reamer, thought about dunking, and he will end up on the deck.
Right into the basket, Tim Reamer is fouled and will be going to the line for Benedictine University.
Season high point total for Mike Blazek. It was 25 against Marion entering action today.
Is charged with Deshaun Dixon.
Deshaun Dixon with the foul. And it's Tim Reamer at the free throw line. Reamer misses his first attempt.
And checking in for the Eagles, Kewan Lawson.
Tim Reamer, 9 points, 9 rebounds off the bench for Benedictine today. Kind of a typical performance for him. Some more subs entering for Benedictine. Kewan Lawson. Michael Carter Jr. enter. And Reamer splashes in attempt number 2. Hope leading things to Barnes. Barnes all the way with the emphatic finish.
Cameron Barnes for the Cowboys. Please be reminded, do not enter the court at the conclusion of today's game. Do not go on.
35 seconds left.
At the conclusion of tonight's game. Thank you for your
timeout for subs. Adrian Perzanowski, along with Shaka Washington for Benedictine. .8. Glosson lost it. Barnes the steal, and he will lay it in. 85-64. Shot clock off. Perzanowski out to Gorney, who's just going to hang on. And Benedictine will advance. The deepest a team for the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference has ever gone. To the round of 16. Your final score, Benedictine 85, Hardin Simmons 64. For head coach Keith Bunkenberg, his 6th visit as a head coach to the NCAA Championship Tournament at his first victory. Hardin Simmons came from Texas, a long trip Thursday and Friday after winning at Texas Lutheran. A heck of a run for the visitors, who won 4 in a row. 2 of those on the road in the NCAA tournament and the America's Southwest semifinals. Hardin Simmons will finish the year at 19-11. While Benedictine moves on now 28-0. A very appreciative crowd. Take a look at some of the final numbers in the ball game. Blazek finishes with 24 points for Benedictine. Hardin Simmons led by 14 each from Dixon and Barnes. 85-64 your final. Benedictine will learn if they are at home or on the road next weekend tomorrow. Visit BenuEagles.com for details. It'll be Benedictine against Ohio Wesleyan in the sectional semifinal. 85-64 the final for our entire crew. Thanks for joining us from the Dan and Etta Rice Center on the campus of Benedictine University. I'm Tim Calderwood. Good night.